be your third time this year.
Second.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the 815 Sports Podcast. Jake and I here, returning guest, Stash Morozak, supporting Woodland there on the T-shirt. Got the Eagles ball cap on. We're looking forward to Super Bowl 59. Not as much as the Super Bowls I've looked forward to in the past, but it's always fun to watch the Super Bowl. I will say, fun fact, ticket prices are as cheap as they've been in years ago.
Are you looking more forward to the commercials or the game?
The game. We'll be in the kitchen during the commercials.
Yeah.
I know
You
that
cooking something up good?
We'll have some dishes.
Yeah?
We'll have some dishes, yeah.
What were you saying, Jake?
just every year, it's everybody's. If you're not interested in the game, it's the commercials. Like just your everyday people that don't like the NFL. A lot of them watch because of the commercials.
I like Shane Gillis, and I saw the Bud Light commercials they're
With
doing.
Post Malone.
Yeah, those look pretty funny.
The Budweiser one with the dog's always nice.
Otherwise, you guys have good commercials every year.
Clydesdales here and there. This obviously the second time these two teams have matched up the past 3 years in the Super Bowl. I'm sure majority of the people want the Eagles to win, but I got to be honest. Like when you look at it, Eagles are kind of tough to root for too, because you see the videos of their fans just completely shitting on other teams, and I mean all the things they were doing to Commanders fans before, during, and after the game. Some of the things that were said to Packers fans. You can go down the line with things that they've done. And then the Chiefs, they're there every year. I mean, Mahomes has made it to the Super Bowl. This will be his fifth appearance now, looking for the three-peat. He's in the championship game every year as a starter, the conference championship game. Before we get into our picks, though, I want to bring this up, Jake and Stash. So Mahomes, if he wins the Super Bowl, have 4 rings, a three-peat. How close do you think he is to overtaking Brady?
So wait,
he's not even 30 years old.
I think that this is his 7th year, and he's been in the AFC Championship game 7. Am I right? 7 consecutive years
as a starter. Yeah, the 1 year he didn't start Alex Smith.
That's still insanity.
Yeah.
How close is he to taking over the GOAT? I mean, he's really close. I don't think you could put him there yet, but if he wins Sunday, I mean, I think you can definitely make that argument that at this early in his career, he's better than Brady was. But I mean, obviously Brady's longevity.
Yeah.
We'll see if Mahomes can do that, which
I think Brady had to take way harder hits than what they do now.
Yeah, sure.
Longevity, I think Brady still has him. Mahomes is right on his tail. The one thing that I think Brady still has on him is that he went to a new franchise.
Yeah.
And did it somewhere else, which Mahomes doesn't have to do if he gets
that
a
is
couple
cool.
more. But
I also seen that Stephen A. said that he went there was a 10-year gap where the Patriots and Brady didn't make a Super Bowl. I think, or didn't win one. I think it was 04 to 14. Someone can fact check me, but there was a 10-year gap where Brady didn't win a Super Bowl. And Stephen A. says that was, that could take a hit on him. If you're having the GOAT discussion, if you're trying to make your case for Mahomes, that would be a good case to make. He went 10 seasons in the NFL without winning one.
And there's also think at all the quarterbacks that didn't win a Super Bowl because of Brady. That is also coming to real life with
Mahomes.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
If the Eagles lose, Jalen Hurts is going to be that guy. Lamar, Joe Burrow. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah. And then the second thing I was going to bring up on the other side of it is if Jalen Hurts and the Eagles win this Super Bowl, Hurts will have had 2 Super Bowl appearances and 1 championship. Does that put him in the same conversation as Breeze, Dan Marino, Rodgers, etc., all those quarterbacks? Obviously, when you look at it from statistical wise, I would say that he's not going to be able to compare with them as far as MVPs and things like that. But when you just look at it from a team win rate in Super Bowl.
And to take down the three-peat, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's won more big games than Josh Allen has, right? Because he's made it to the Super Bowl twice, which means he's won 2 championship games to get there. Allen can't get over that hump, and I understand he's playing Mahomes, but if you want to be considered great, at one time you're going to have to get yours, which I think he will.
Josh Allen has played phenomenal, though, in the playoff games.
I think Allen and the Bills will get theirs in due time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but, man, you just get so close every year that it's got to take a toll on you.
Another thing with Hurts, too, I don't know if it's getting benched in the playoffs when he's in college that people don't say he's a perennial winner, but to get to 2 Super Bowls in 2 years and be in the position he's in, I think he deserves that conversation.
And I like Jalen Hurts. He seems to be super humble. Obviously, OU guy. I always like OU guys. But
yeah, I honestly I hate a lot of things. I hate the Eagles head coach. I think he's a jack off.
Sirianni.
I think their fans are even worse than jack offs. They're the worst. I think they make Bears fans look very nice. They're ruthless. I don't think I'll never go to a game. I have no desire to ever go to Lincoln Century, what's it called? CenturyLink Field.
Yeah.
Whatever. No desire to go to that stadium. They're absolutely brutal.
You probably wouldn't make it out alive.
No, because I'd get in a fight.
And they got the big dummy security guard walking
Big
around.
Dom.
Yeah.
It just seems like they don't want you there. And if you look, sometimes when you watch an NFL game, you can see both of your other team's colors in certain parts of the stadium. When you go to Philadelphia, you don't see that. And I mean, whatever they say, it's a good home field advantage, but it's probably because people just don't want to go. I mean, every week there's a fight, multiple fights. They're brutal.
My last question before we make the pick is, Stash, who you got for Super Bowl MVP?
Put me on the spot. I'm going to go Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
I think he gets a couple scores. I think just the season he's had, that would be a fitting end.
Mm-hmm.
Also could be maybe somebody on that defensive line, a Jalen Carter just goes crazy and strip sacks some Mahomes, and that's the play of the game. And it's one thing I wanted to talk about, just about these two franchises are teams that in the front office, they're not afraid to take swings.
Oh, no.
Think in the draft when Jalen Carter was falling, and you know what type of player he is, but he's had some off the field concerns, and teams like the Bears pass on him because they're afraid to make a splash, and then he goes to the right organization, and that's why these teams are here. Because
AJ Brown,
when DeAndre Hopkins comes for sale, Marquise Brown, think of all the guys that Saquon Barkley, they go and spend money.
You can't be scared to spend money. You can't be scared to do something and it not work.
Cooper DeJean.
I mean, the list goes on and on. Both these teams
Blankenship.
Stockpile draft picks, draft players from good organizations in college, and there's a reason why both these teams are here. It's more than just the quarterback.
Yeah. I would like to see the Packers take a humongous swing in the offseason. I'm sure everybody wants their team to take a swing at Myles Garrett. Yeah, he wasn't wrong. We don't, that team led the league in drops. I said it all year. Wicks got open more than anybody in the league, but he had the highest drop rate. I mean, something's got to give there. We do need a number one in Green Bay. He probably should have went about it in a better way. If you read the full quote, he did say that, if it's a deep room, the guys are pretty special, but we need that proven number one guy. But obviously, those guys are going to take offense to that. So it is what it is. But
Cooper Kupp's on the trade block.
I'd rather
Green Bay.
I would take Cooper Kupp. I would take Devontae Adams. More importantly than either of those guys, I want Myles Garrett because we have no pass rush. So I don't care if we give up 2 firsts for Sean Geary and a 3rd. I want Myles Garrett in Green Bay. That would be the equivalent to getting Reggie White back in the day, and then they won the Super Bowl, made it back again.
Because of that.
Yeah, he was amazing. So I think that'd be sweet to get a guy there. So, but that's my hopes and dreams. Jake, what about you? What do you think?
For this game?
Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
I think it's either going to be Barkley or Mahomes. I would lean towards Barkley. Is this one of the best running back seasons that we've ever seen?
Oh, it's definitely one of the best. There's no question about that.
With what he's doing.
Yeah, I would say Peterson back when he won the MVP was insane.
I mean, I wonder what the odds are, but I bet you a lot of people are picking Barkley.
I mean, Barkley, man, he breaks that big run, and the Chiefs' run defense, they have a pretty good defense, but if there's one spot where they're kind of shaky, it is their run defense and giving up the explosive play. It doesn't take much for Barkley to get loose either. But I also, depending on which way I pick here, let's say I pick the Chiefs, I got Mahomes winning the Super Bowl MVP. If I can pick the Eagles, I got Barkley. Last question: if the Chiefs win, do you think Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? Do you think he proposes to her after the game?
Oh, what?
I'm going to say yes.
Next question.
All right.
You know what? I don't even fucking know about it. You know what? You know that's probably gonna happen.
That's just what I got. What's up, Lucas? Stosh, we'll let you go first. We'll finally get into the game here. Who you got in this one?
I'm taking the Eagles. I think it comes down to a 4th and 1 tush push.
Yeah,
And
unstoppable.
I think you need 1 yard and you give it to the guy who got you there, or you do a fake to Barkley at the goal line. I think it comes down. I don't think it's a high scoring game.
No,
I think it's a ground and pound, control the clock type of game where, smash mouth football has gotten the Eagles there, and the Chiefs are not the old Chiefs of old with the run and gun. It's control the clock. It's play good defense. It's
check downs.
It's kind of the tale of two teams running back wise, because when you hand it to Saquon Barkley, you know what you're getting. But the Chiefs are that committee of. I didn't think Kareem Hunt was going to still be on the Chiefs and be the starting running back for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
He's running better than Pacheco though, right now.
They have a hodgepodge group of receivers at best right now. Guys well past their prime, but it's worked for them. But I just think the Eagles' defense is really good. They have so many athletic defensive linemen that
the secondary is good,
and I think it is the perfect revenge game.
You say the tush push. Something what's weird about that is, how have you ever seen a false start call on that? It just seems like they get it every time, but it just seems to me like, man, at one point there's going to be a false start call on the tush push.
Well, they've also seen offsides a lot on that play. And maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like they're offsides a lot on that, and they never get
Oh
called.
yeah, so you got Eagles. I'm going to take the Chiefs. Look, I can't pick against Mahomes until he loses. I've done it all year. But I just think, really, if you look at it roster-wise, the Eagles are probably the better team, right?
I think top to bottom, yeah.
I think so. So, but it's just that one position where they're not, which is all that really matters. So I think I just think Mahomes and the Chiefs, I watched as much as people want to say it's the refs. You watch that Bills game and you watch Mahomes third down after third down convert to keep the clock running and not get the ball back to Josh Allen in the fourth quarter. And if you remember right, Josh Allen had the ball with 3 minutes left. It was legacy drive time. You went 3 and out. Like, you had your chance. And then
he did make a hell of a throw. He didn't get that to Kincaid, though.
And then Mahomes came down, and it was 3rd and 8, and they had to get it. And he threw that on the left side of the field, and the guy got the first. They just make the right plays at the right time when you have to make them. And it seems like it's every time. If it's a 2-minute drill, if they have to get a first down, the Chiefs they're going to do it. I got the Chiefs.
I agree with what you said. I got the Eagles in this one. I think their offensive line is going to be too much for the Chiefs front. I think Barkley's going to have a $120 rushing, only 1 touchdown because Jalen Hurts probably get the other 2. But I think it's going to be a 28-17 game. I think the Eagles are going to win by double digits.
I kind of think it's going to be more. I just think with Mahomes and Barkley, I just feel like this could be a high scoring game, but I don't know. You want to think that in the Super Bowl that defenses are going to show up and get stops, but I just don't. It
was 38-35, the last time they played.
I see this being a shootout. I really do.
That'd be fun to watch. I think it'd be important for the Chiefs to get ahead early because, that might take the run game away a little bit.
That's the one Achilles heel for the Eagles is when other teams get ahead, Hurts isn't that passer who can bring you back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right.
Even with the weapons they have on the outside.
Ground and pound. If the Eagles are going to win this game,
they have to
control the clock. Yeah. Try to. I understand Barkley can break one, but the more you keep the ball out of it's cliche, obviously. The more you keep the ball out of Mahomes' hand, the better chance you have to win. So how do you do that? You run the ball.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be fun to watch. we'll see who's hoisting the trophy. I don't really have anything else to say. You guys got some final words?
What is going to be the color of the Gatorade dumped
Blue.
on the coach?
Red.
Blue. So I wonder if it depends on the team. Like if it's the Chiefs, would it be red? And then if it's the Eagles, there isn't green, but that would be weird. You can bet on that.
Yeah. Another
That's
thing
crazy.
I saw people are betting on, it was 12-1 odds if a player scores an octopus. It's where one player scores all 8 points, the touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Didn't that happen if you didn't Hurts do that a
I
few
think
years
so.
ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So bet on the octopus.
But there's so many things that you can bet on in this game. It's crazy. Like I'm trying to think. I probably can't think off the hand, but
I haven't bet in a month.
I mean,
I won one bet this football season.
obviously Vegas has no idea who. I mean, it's basically a pick 'em. But I mean, that's how it should be in the Super Bowl. I mean, it should be a hard game to pick, and this is a really hard game to pick. Yeah, that's all I got.
Do you think if the Chiefs lose, Travis Kelce retires?
How old is Travis Kelce?
34, 35.
Well, I just don't see him retiring. And if the Chiefs win, but if they lose, I just feel like he's going to come back. I mean, he's only 34 or 5. I mean, he should have a couple more years, especially all they do is win in Kansas City. How do you not? If you can do it, how do you not come back?
I see more of a point to retire if you lose, because then you can say, well, but if you win the third time and you go for the fourth time, which you'd be doing history again, I can see why you'd come back.
Yeah,
If I'm Andy Reid, I just keep coaching this team forever.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have. I mean, Don Shula was getting pushed around on a freaking. He had what are they called? Where you work them yourselves? Just motorized scooters that you sit in. He had one of those on the sidelines. He was coaching until he couldn't walk. Really.
Who makes Super Bowl next year?
Boy,
No bias. Personally, I would see the Eagles getting back in the NFC side. I would see the Eagles getting back in the NFC side, and I'm going to say Josh Allen finally gets over the hump.
To be honest, though, if you look at the NFC side, Detroit has kind of taken a step down, right? We think.
Yeah, they
With
lost
everything they lost.
I think they lost 12 coaches.
Does Minnesota repeat that? Do they go 13-2? Whatever, they were only at 2 losses.
I don't think
right?
they
So,
repeat that.
I mean, then
Maybe
you
the
got.
Packers get Myles Garrett.
And are the
and
Bears
that
any
would be
better in that
insane.
division? I mean,
The Bears take a step forward.
The Bears are bound to take
the
a step
Niners. The Niners weren't the Niners that
The
were
Niners
used to.
could be a
competitive team.
team that is stuck in no man's land.
Yeah.
The way that things ended there. Debo looks like he's 260 pounds wearing the Eagles jersey. I don't know how players do that when wear other guys' jerseys,
Yeah.
why they're
No, I get
still
it.
in the league. That bothered me. What else in that division out west?
The Cardinals,
The
Cardinals.
Rams.
the Rams. I mean,
Stafford
maybe
hasn't
the-
decided if he's coming back next year, but
But
I
I
bet
mean,
he would.
What I'm trying to say is it was kind of down, wasn't it? The NFC this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, does Washington, continue to improve? But I agree. I think if there's an NFC team that ends up getting Myles Garrett, I think that shoots him to the top. But I've read that a more realistic option for Green Bay would be Khalil Mack, cheaper, free agent. You wouldn't have. The Packers do not move draft
A
picks.
veteran guy in the
Yeah.
locker room. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles would be a very good pick, but I'm going to take Baltimore.
Yeah.
I think it's as much as you want to say it's Allen's time, Lamar can say the same thing. Like I gotta do it. Like you got to catch the ball, Mark Andrews. I mean, I understand it's not all his fault, but maybe Eagles, Baltimore.
That'd be a fun game, too.
Different.
Yeah.
You
Especially in
agree?
the AFC side.
Yeah, I think all the guys or all the teams you guys have mentioned that there will be a surprise contender, but it's the same group. You have to find
I
a
know.
quarterback.
You-
As
you-
boring as it sounds, and if you have your guy, you're going to fight for the next 5 to 6 years. Like people say Lamar's going to fall off because of his legs. I don't see that.
Could you see Joe Burrow and the Bengals
Yeah, the
getting back
Bengals
into that?
could
picture?
be improved totally.
I mean,
Offensively, they're fine.
That division
Cleveland, shambles,
shambles. The Steelers,
regressing.
who's going to be their quarterback? They're not in.
JF1.
They're not. Yeah. Winning 4 games.
Yeah.
They're not in the position. They're kind of in that same position they were when they drafted Kenny Pickett. Like the spot they're in doesn't have premium capital for a quarterback.
Yeah.
So they either have to trade up and overspend on a guy in a draft class like this that doesn't have any
Next year, I think. has a lot
all
more
world
options.
studs.
Yeah.
And guys who have question marks. I mean,
Cam Ward going to be the first quarterback drafted?
I hope it's Travis Hunter because I got money on him being the first pick. I got it in over the summer. For
Yeah.
pretty good odds, but
Who's got the first pick this year?
Tennessee.
Oh, they're definitely
Tennessee's
taking a
taking a quarterback.
I think they're taking Cam Ward.
Well, Shadir's only going to go a few places. Personally, I don't
think Shadur's good enough to be saying where he can and can't go.
I don't think he's that great myself either, but he's going to be a top 5 pick, I think. And I do think Hunter what's he going to do? Play both sides?
He should.
I mean, he can't play both sides. I don't think he's going to be able to play both sides like as much as he was in college, though. That's just me. So we'll see. But Stash, appreciate you coming on. It was good to have you.
Next year.
Yeah. And thanks everybody for watching the live shows this year. It's been fun. We'll continue it into next year.
See you, chat.
Everybody enjoy the Super Bowl. That takes